Hi, my name is Dale, and in the next few minutes I'm going to show you how we can do some pretty cool things with LiDAR and FME 2011. So let's just first take a look at the data that we have to begin with. I've got a directory that's filled with LiDAR files. I've got an orthophoto that's a JPEG 2000. I've got a topo that's a TIFF, topographic map, and I've got a design file that's going to define the area of our project that we're interested in. So if I take a look in the FME viewer, here's the topo. We can zoom in there a little bit and see, yep, looks like a topo to me. And so that's good. I can flip on the JPEG. I got this set up. There it comes. Yep, that looks like a nice JPEG to me. And I'm going to flip on the design file, and that's the area that we really care about for this project that we're working on. And I can go ahead and let's go and take a look at all the the LiDAR files. So if I just blank this out and go out and pick in the LiDAR, and I'll say yes, I'll look at them all and I'll open them. Let's see what we get. I get a whole grid of these things, and what that tells me is that the FME Universal Viewer doesn't show the actual points in the LiDAR. If you want to see those, you need to use a data inspector, but for our purposes we know that there's, I guess, 16 files that cover our area. So that's it for looking at the input data. Now let's use FME to make our results. What we're told we need to do is create a USGS DEM for the area in question, together with a 3D PDF for our customers to see what the terrain is in that area. So to get started, this is the new FME 2011 look. I'll go and grab a blank workspace, and I'll go back to the data, and I'm just going to drag these all in. So I'm going to add the JPEG 2000, and then while it's thinking about that, I'll add the TIFF, and while it's thinking about that, I'm going to go ahead and add our design file. And let's just arrange these nicely. We'll put the DGN up top, and then the TIFF right in the middle here. And now I also need to add the LiDAR, and so probably the easiest way is just go into this directory. I'll drag one of them across, and then I'll go in here and just hit Control A, because we want them all as part of our project. So now I've got point clouds that I'm reading as full point cloud objects. 16 of them, I guess, from there. The first thing I'll want to do with these is join them all together into a single point cloud. And so to do that, I can click on there and type point cloud combiner. So that brings them all into one. That using the quick add functionality that was in FME 2010. So now I'm going to have one point cloud coming out of here. And so the next thing I'd want to do with that, with point clouds, you don't want to, for our purposes, we're making a surface model, an elevation model. We only want the last return of each reading. So when the sensor would bounce something off the surface, we want not the tree leaves and not the anything else, the branches and so on. We want the last return. So to do that, I need the point cloud splitter. And so I have to adjust the parameters here to say output only the last return. So I'm going to do that. And so at this point, I'd have all the last returns coming out. And what I really want to do then is go ahead and I'm going to do a clipper. And okay, let's take the clipper and let's do this. And that's going to be, the point cloud is going to be the clip E. And the clipper is actually going to be the boundary coming out of that design file. And I'm actually also going to clip the JPEG and the TIFF at the same time. So now I've got all those things coming in there. And now when I come out of the clipper, and I'm going to bring that around over here, I want the things that are clipped inside, but I've actually merged all these, so how am I going to kind of get them back, because I want to do different things with those inputs. On the clipped inside, I'm going to go ahead and go into a feature type filter, and I'm going to go and tell it to update itself. And out of all this, I don't actually want the DGN clipper, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that first one, and that gives me my LiDAR, my JPEGs, and my TIFFs. So now, having that in hand, I'm going to go into a surface modeler because I'm going to want to create both a DEM as well as a tin surface, and the fastest and the most efficient way to do that is to pop into here. So the LiDAR becomes my points, and that's actually it for input. I need to go in here, and I'm going to want my DEM to have 2 meter spacing in X and Y. The rest of that, tolerance and everything else, looks fine. And I'm going to say that, hey, now I've got a surface. And so at this point, I could go ahead and make my output elevation model. So to do that, I got to add a writer, USGS DEM, and I'm going to put this into output elevations. Actually, it's going to take that from the feature type, so that's naming the directory. I do have to say the coordinate system. I know that this is UTM 1783-17, so that's what I'm going to specify for my elevation model. And that gives me a new feature type, and I will call it elevations. That should be good. And so, oh yeah, but I'm supposed to clip this also. The surface may, the elevation model will be a grid, and so I want to clip out the no data, so I'm going to actually pop down a clipper here, and let's drag that over here, and the clip E is going to be my raster DEM. The clipper, and I'm going to click there once, that puts me in kind of connection mode, drag over here. The clipper is going to come from all the way over there. That's a convenient way to cross screens. And now I've done that, I'm going to take the stuff that's clipped inside, and that becomes my elevation model, and that would give us our elevation model. We'd be done with that. Now, the other part, though, is that I want to make a PDF, a 3D PDF. So I'm going to go with up here to Adobe 3D PDF, and I'm going to call this my overview map.pdf. And I will add, I'm going to add a feature type that's for the ortho. And I'm going to duplicate this, and I hit F2, and I'm also going to make one that's for the topo. So got the ortho and the topo, going to my PDF, and what I just have to do is take this surface and put back the JPEG and the TIFF. Remember that the JPEG is coming from the ortho, and the TIFF should be our topo. Yes. Okay, so I need to put down something called an appearance adder. So this is going to take a surface, which is coming from tin surface, and it's going to take an image, which, okay, the JPEG is going to come through there, and that's going to be my ortho. Okay, and I do have to tell this thing that the image is from the top, like it's basically being slapped down from the top, and so then I take the resulting surface and I pump it into the ortho. And now I'm going to just duplicate this and come back, and let's see, we'll add the surface in as the surface, and the TIFF is going to the front, and I'm going to connect this, and that becomes my topo. And so now we should be all done what we wanted to accomplish. We've got our appearances being added. We're going out to PDF. We're producing a USGS DEM, and we'll have started with LiDAR and done some clipping and combining along the way. If I leave all 6 million of the input points in, it'll take about 5 minutes to run, and I can go ahead and do that now. But why don't we just take a look at what the output is without having done. Here's the output from the overview PDF, and the first thing we see is the topo, nicely surfaced there for us. That looks very nice, and we're quite happy with that. And now, sorry, that's the ortho. And then if I bring the topo, sure enough, it's there as well, and just the part that's for our project, and that'll be a nice companion file to send to our customer. So now let's go take a look at the DEM. And there it is, sitting there for us. And we'll just take and drag this onto our friendly neighborhood FME viewer. And sure enough, there we have it. And if we click on these things, we do see that we have elevation values. So that concludes this demonstration. Thanks very much for watching.